Welcome to the Mismatch. I'm Chris Vernon, and joining me as he does every week from TheRinger.com is Dave Jacoby. Jacoby!
Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween.
What are your kids going as?
Oh, my God. We're going to start the pod with this absolute disaster in my house. Disaster. I've got one pirate. Fine. I've got one Starbucks employee. It's great. People love it, right? It plays. And my son wanted to be an Imperial Admiral from Star Wars. And he expressed this in like September. My wife ordered the costume on October 4th. Has not arrived.
Oh, no.
She saw this coming, ordered a second one like 2 weeks ago. Has not arrived.
Oh, no.
In an absolute panic, I go to the Halloween store yesterday, wait in line forever, and I buy like 3 masks. She's like, put this mask on with a hoodie. And he's like, F that. No chance. Halloween is ruined. I'm not going trick-or-treating. I can't believe this. You guys don't care about me. I'm leaving this family. Can I secede from this family? How does this work? Do I get new parents? Can I check into a group home? Do I check into a foster home? How do I get matched with a new family? He's exploring all options. So maybe I'll have 3 kids come our next episode on Tuesday.
So I have a 12-year-old that wanted everything, right? She's changed her mind 50 times, and I think she's ending up going as like a convict or something. I can't even remember what it is. And then because
I'll be a convict by the end of this.
And then my son, who's a teenager, I'm like, you got to get something, right? We go to like Spirit Halloween. I'm like, you got to get something. He's like, fine, I'll get a Freddy mask, like a Five Nights at Freddy, like that.
Oh
bear,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So he literally bought the plastic. Like it's like I was forcing him.
Those things are so uncomfortable.
I'm like, you can't just walk around as an annoying teenager, right? There's no way. Like you got to get something that you put on. And he's like, fine, I'll get the Freddy mask. So that's the extent of what we got going. But I'm going to an NBA Cup game tonight.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm going to Memphis versus the Lakers with the new court, the whole 9. Who knows? Maybe Luka Doncic, which was a surprise to see.
LaRavia revenge game?
I mean, the LaRavia revenge game. You've got Austin Reeves always has like 1 million people at the game because he's from Arkansas, right? So it's like their opportunity.
I guess
right
those are bordering states, I suppose.
Yeah. So we will. I'll be at an NBA Cup game while everybody is doing their Halloween festivities. Anyway, interesting night last night. Not a lot of great games. It is
there's like 4.
Yeah, you know? But it is kind of odd, right? Like I'm having to do some recalibration, I think, as are you, which is we have always functioned like, okay, there'll be like some other, like maybe some ESPN games during the week on national television, but Thursday night's kind of like the set-aside night. And now it's just for sure not the set-aside night, right? Like every night there is something going on NBC, Peacock, Amazon, whatever. And there is like a little bit of an adjustment period going on where it feels like, okay, now a bunch of games are bigger games because they've got a national television stage. Yeah, I know.
It feels like those used to be the NBA TV nights.
Right.
And we don't really have NBA TV nights anymore.
No.
And I feel the games do feel quote unquote bigger when they're on NBC, Amazon, or ESPN. They just do.
They do.
And they feel better. And we were texting last night and you were like, I don't know, like no Giannis kind of ruined this game. And I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna give it a shot. I had a great time watching that game.
Exactly what I texted you. I said, you were like, hey, the Bucks are kind of sticking with the Warriors. And I was like, man, once Giannis was out, I was like, But then what a win for the Milwaukee Bucks against the Warriors last night, minus Giannis.
I mean, there's a lot. I think that Ryan Rollins was the sort of headline, and we're going to discuss more on him later. But for me, there's a few things happening here. We will celebrate the Bucks, but I also want to say this was the Warriors. They've had like a tough schedule, sort of not necessarily who they played, but like how they have played the teams they've played. And that's not going to stop anytime soon. But they saw Giannis was out of the lineup and they started mailing it in. And they did not put forth, especially defensively, an effort that you're used to from the Warriors. And when they were like down 5, down 6 with about 2 or 3 minutes left, they ratcheted up the defense. Like the Bucks could literally had trouble getting it over half court in the last few possessions of the game. And like they got called for a backcourt. There was like just a terrible like Kuzma fadeaway 30-foot three with the shot clock winding down. They were just having trouble completing passes. And I'm looking at this game going, where was this for the past 45 minutes of the game clock? Because now that you need these possessions, you need these stops, you get them. I felt like the Warriors disappointed me a little bit with their overall effort, which is understandable given the fact that Giannis was out and they've been playing so much on the road.
This is very common amongst good teams, vet teams, and also teams that are playing against teams without stars, right?
Yep.
They look across and they go, we are going to put the minimal amount of effort in order to win this game. That's why at the beginning of the season, we see so many of these teams that aren't supposed to be good pull off these surprising wins, is because most of these teams they understand, especially vet teams, understand it's an 82-game season, and so they're kind of pacing themselves. But it's like, okay, this is one of those that we could play hard for 10 of the 40 minutes or 48 minutes and get away with it. And more often than not, they're getting caught at the beginning of the season, right? Because it's like, okay, now it's time to crank up and go ahead and get this win. And the other team just makes a couple shots, and next thing you know, that's not able to happen. As the year goes on, it is much more relevant that teams can crank it up at the end, like for the last 10 minutes. You will see this, and you'll see this a lot with teams that don't have an interest in winning, especially given the caliber of the draft next year. We're already seeing like these Darren Peterson, AJ DeBansta, Carlos Boozer kids highlight are like crazy. They're crazy. I'm like, oh, buddy, these last 30 games are going to be rough for some of these teams and some of these fans. But anyway, I think you're right? You look across, you don't see Giannis, and you say, all right, we'll be able to crank this up for 10 or 12 minutes and win this game. And it just wasn't so.
They tried. And there was some bad offensive Warriors possessions. And like, you just can't decide to play defense when you're down 5 with 4 minutes left against a professional team. And one of the players I want to discuss, and we're going to get to Ryan Rollins, and I think that people that don't pay real close attention to the league, this wasn't like a one-off great game from Rollins. Like, he has been like ramping up to this all season. And one of the players I wanted to ask you about, given the fact that you're close ties to the Grizzlies, Cole Anthony was really impressive, not just last night, the last few games. Sort of like, listen, the guy's not going to make the All-Star team. He's not going to make like a leap or whatever. But like, for someone that was sort of like a forgotten piece in the Bane trade, and then wasn't he waived by the Grizzlies? Was that like a transaction? He was just waived, right?
Just waived, yes.
Yeah, so he was waived by the Grizzlies, and now he's like a key contributor in these Bucks wins and in this sort of like reformed idea of what the Bucks are, which has been really impressive. I mean, we're all going to celebrate this Giannis-less win, but I love the style of basketball they're playing around Giannis. They're like, you know what? Let's make this sort of a heliocentric Giannis offense where we just surround him by shooters and treat him like he's a 7-foot Luka, and it's working somehow.
Right. Anthony was in the Desmond Bane trade, and I've always kind of liked Cole Anthony and liked the idea of Cole Anthony. But once Memphis was they were trying to free up the maximum amount of money so that they could go ahead and get the Jaren Jackson Jr. deal done. Cole Anthony had like a very real contract. And the other thing was, once you were going to make your free agency bid and you were going to get Ty Jerome on an unbelievable contract, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to carry a guy with that kind
Anthony and Jerome don't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to carry a guy with that kind of a contract for a roster spot if you were bringing in Jerome and you were trying to free up the money so that you could sign the extension with Jackson Jr. And so I understood why they did it, but there's no question he is a valuable NBA player. And I just like his vibes. I liked his vibes in Orlando. Of course. And they might miss him.
And we talk about all these teams that need point guards, and we've beaten into the death, and it's been sort of like an overcovered story at this point because it's so obvious. But like all of those teams, the Mavs, the Rockets, like, wouldn't you love Cole Anthony in your uniform right now? Like, wouldn't you absolutely love that? Just like instead of D'Angelo Russell, you've got Cole Anthony. Instead of Reed Shepherd, you've got Cole Anthony. I think both those teams get better.
It was a good acquisition for them, for sure.
I thought so too.
Wemby and the Spurs. Oh my goodness, are they making me regret my? Now, in fairness, a lot of my questions about the Spurs and whether or not this was the year that they take the leap to the next level, where how many games do they get Wembanyama on the court, right? Is he a guy that is going to be able to play 60 plus games throughout the year? Because he has not been the most durable thus far. But my God, if he does, I'm almost through 5 games. I'm already willing to concede. Like, when they have him, this is the best start they've had. They beat a tough Miami team last night who had been giving people problems thus far this year, and had put up 2 different games where they scored over 140, one of which I was at in Memphis, and then they turned around and smoked Charlotte in that game the other night. Unbelievable start. He is just, a total freak of nature. That goes without saying. We've already covered it before. But the other guys, Castle with another good game. Dylan Harper looks like an absolute nailed pick already. And I have been super impressed with what we've seen from them thus far.
I think, look, Wemby is plenty covered. If you want to hear people talk about how great Wembanyama's been this year, there's plenty of options for that. Sure. But what I've been most impressed by is the team effort. I've been impressed by Mitch Johnson, and I've really been impressed with what this team has been able to do. Preseason, if you'd said, gave me a pen and a paper and said, write down the Spurs' most important players in a power ranking format, right? You're going to put Fox at like 2, right? And then you're going to put Sohan at like 6 or 5.
Yes.
And they don't have those guys.
Right.
And they're 5-0. And so they're missing 2. We can argue about where Sohan is in the power rankings. Who gives a shit? But 2 of their top 7 players are not playing and have not played. And they look like one of the best teams in the best conference.
The other thing that is super interesting about this is, and it probably happens if Fox is there anyway, but Fox is like a veteran guy, an outstanding NBA player, an all-star, a guy that led a team to a high seed in the Western Conference just a few years ago as the clutch player of the year and all that. Wembanyama is like, there's no question it's Wembanyama's team, and it's one thing for it to be your team. It's another thing to be like the leader. And you can tell. Like,
body language wise.
No, he's the guy. He's the guy. And he's a second-year player.
Oh, dude, what I found so telling of that, and I'm glad you brought this up because I wasn't planning on saying this, but at the end of the game, it's a tight game. I think we're celebrating the Spurs because they're 5-0. It's a great win and everything. I thought the Heat played really well. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's a close game. They call timeout, and the team has a huddle, and Johnson breaks them down or what they're going to do or whatever. And then you see the 5 that are on the floor take 4 steps onto the floor, and then Wemby brings them into a huddle.
Yes.
And Wemby has a secondary, after the coach has been like, here's what we're going to do, Wemby has a secondary huddle where he's like, here's actually what we're going to do now that we're on the floor, and it's just us 5 talking. And it was everyone looking up at Wemby and him clearly dictating what their approach was going to be. And he was clearly the voice in that huddle, and they were going to execute his instructions. And that is leadership that you always get from your star player, but not usually from a third-year player that missed a bunch of games last year.
No, and this is it's something that is not talked about a lot because we talk about this alien-esque,
of course,
performances, but he's got that too. It's actually quite annoying. They're going to have to ban him. Like, there's only that's it.
Listen. I like to be negative.
You can't be an awesome leader, 7'7",
great interview, and like doing things for the community. Like, what about this handsome? Like, screw this guy. You know what I mean?
We're done with Wemby.
Yeah, I'm over Wemby. He's too perfect.
We're done with him.
I hope he gets wrapped up in some sort of poker scandal or something. Make him feel like I feel like he's a human. You know. But I just thought it was really impressive from both teams. I thought it was a good game. And I think the Heat were in it. I thought Bam Adebayo, what we thought Bam was going to do last year, he's kind of quietly doing this year. Remember? Yes. It was like, international, he's shooting threes. So, this is the year Bam's going to shoot threes. Like, he hit some big threes in this game. And the Heat were in it. They're without Norm Powell, Tyler Hero, Yakachunas, and Jovic. Like, again, you want to start power ranking who's important to the Heat? Tyler Hero's going to be up there, and so is Norm Powell.
Well, and I'm interested in the Bam thing because, they brought in Noah LaRoche, who was part of the Grizzlies staff last year that ran this, this oddball offense.
The no picks, no picks, no screens offense. Yeah.
It was amazing for Jackson Jr. Because it was unconventional.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
him and Şengün were like a vote or two away from all NBA. I mean, literally $100 million. And if it weren't for the collapse down the stretch of the season last year, Jackson Jr. would have made an all-NBA team if it weren't for the last 3 weeks of the season. And Adebayo immediately is flourishing under this type of thing too. And so it's worth monitoring because I saw it happen with the guy last year, and I do think that this could reap tremendous benefits for Adebayo because what happens is you get the ball in a lot more one-on-one situations. You are not getting nearly as much extra attention because everybody else is moving. And so what happened last year was, in Jaren's case, he was one of the best ISO scorers in the entire NBA. But if you do bring extra attention to him, he can get in trouble. And so same thing goes with Adebayo. Adebayo is a bitch to deal with because he can score at all three levels now because the guy shoots threes as well. And so you do have some similar type figures that are both flourishing 2 years in a row. It's something to monitor because I very well think that could be a case. Instead of playing your conventional NBA pick and roll offense where so much time the two players involved in that are getting the extra attention, and teams
the other three players are generally standing in their spots for spacing purposes.
Well, and also because so much of the NBA plays boxes and elbows, tries to protect the rim, and says shoot us out of it, and it's very difficult to do that with that kind of offense.
I think part of it is both of those are good isolation scorers, right? But with the way that the Heat are playing now, you get your defender is sort of chasing you when you catch the ball. Like they had a possession. Right. It started in the right corner, swing to the wing, swing to the top, swing to the left wing, swing to the left corner. Left corner's defender is now chasing. So he drives, kick to the right corner, kick to the right wing, kick back to the top. So now we're like 8 passes into the possession, and off night, my guy Davion Mitchell, who for some reason I absolutely love, he hits a 3 from the top of the key. And like, the defense just always felt 2 steps behind because they're moving the ball so fast and they're not just dribbling, waiting for someone to set a screen, running off that screen, didn't work. Now someone else come and set me a screen. Maybe I'll get a switch and then maybe I'll ISO. The pace with which they're playing with just keeps the defenses on their heels, and players like Jackson and Adebayo catching with their defenders scrambling is going to make it a lot more effective on their offensive possessions.
The other thing that was super impressive about the Spurs was super messy with the ball down the stretch.
Oh, yeah.
And yet their defense, you had Castle contesting stuff on a 2-on-1. You had Wemby just erasing the Davion Mitchell, your guy, one of the layups. And the announcer he's like, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. I feel like too close to the Slim Reaper. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I think Slim Reaper's already taken. We can't call him the Grim Reaper.
He called Wembanyama the Grim Reaper.
I think there's just so many other ways we can go besides Grim Reaper there.
Yeah.
And before we move on from this game, I think it's important to note, because I'm watching this because there wasn't much on, the Heat went on a 17-1 run.
I know.
To start the fourth. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, well, here it is. Yep. Heat basketball.
Yep.
Like for me, I thought the game was over. And I thought it was a really good sign that the young team, because Fox isn't out there, you know what I mean? That the Barnes is kind of like the only vet that's out there, that they came back and held it and win in this fashion.
A couple others that at least bear mentioning are, I was going to, if it weren't for last night, I'd have been really tough on the Magic today. I know Zach Lowe already went through it yesterday with Mo Dockel, but I mean, God, I watched that Pistons game with them the other night, and I was texting you during it. I was like, I can't believe how bad they are. It's the crazy.
Defense. The defense is bad. This is all you have. You are the defensive team.
So we will see. Again, it's the Hornets, so we're not going to draw much. They put Anthony Black in the starting lineup last night. It was interesting. No, but they did get back on track, and they did actually get stops, and they did actually look more like the Magic. So, again, everything's early. We'll wait and see. We'll see if that sticks, obviously. But, my God, they had been rough stuff thus far. They saved themselves from incredible slander today. That's all I will say. And then the Thunder beating the Wizards, which is
before we move on from the Hornets, I just want to make Kalkbrenner the official player of the Mismatch podcast because I love him. You know, I looked at his stats. He's 27 for 30 from the field. He's shooting 90% from the field. Guess how many jump shots he's taken in his entire NBA career.
I say one.
He's taken one jump shot. He's taken three of his 30 shots have not been dunks or layups. I don't even know what those three were. One jump shot. I don't even know. The other two must be like floaters or hook shots or something. Like he's just like I dunk and I lay up and I protect the rim and that's all I do.
Very common phrase within the NBA is KYP, know your personnel.
Yeah.
And he knows himself and
he knows
now
his
other
role.
teams. Like, that's it. What do you do?
Yeah, protect the rim on one side, I catch, and I finish on the other side.
I told you that when I saw him in the preseason, I was like, this guy is going to be like a legitimate, like he's going to have a career. Like he's big, he's long. He was Big East Defensive Player of the Year 4 years in a row, and he's a drop coverage big. He's a guy that stops you from driving to the basket unimpeded and knows what to do. Like just finish, right? Just be there.
He has 3 assists in his entire career, and I don't remember any of them. So we'll see.
Not his game, Jacoby.
He might finish with 3 assists in his career.
No, there's always going to be people that'll be like, well, if he adds this and he adds this, just be that. Tall, dunk it, and block some shots.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what he does. I love him.
The more they try, you try to develop your game, the farther we're going to get away from what makes you good, right? Just be tall, and you've been. Look how far you've gotten being tall.
Yeah, you don't need to spend this offseason developing a 3-point shot. You don't need to be a stretch big. Just be a big. It's fine.
It's actually refreshing to see a tall guy that just does tall guy stuff. Not one friggin' Wemby breaking the press.
You're not trying to go between the legs for step backs. He's like, dude, like I'm a tall guy. I stand by the basket.
Yeah, the worst thing I could see is next summer there's like a Kalkbrenner edit where he's like dribbling around cones and stuff. Like, nah.
Don't dribble. That. You can go your whole career without bouncing the ball on the floor once. It's fine.
Yeah. And then I would petition, like the Thunder beat the Wizards last night. I mean, I would be okay if they just didn't play games like this. Like if they just weren't something I had to even monitor. Like just unless we're getting career highs and stuff. Like
Wizards games or whatever. But it's frustrating that the Thunder Chet's not playing, J-Dub's not playing. It's just like AJ Mitchell and Isaiah Joe are just like superstars all of a sudden. It seems like they've got 10 guys that would start on every team in the league.
And there was an article, I think it was on CBS Sports the other day, and it was like trades that teams regret or something. And I was reading through it, and they were like, this one will last a long time and blah, blah, blah. This team's going to regret this for a long time. Like all these different ones. And you can't believe some of the terrible trades that have been made. But one of them that was in there, and I was like, oh, my God. It was the Thunder trading up for Ousmane Dieng instead of taking Alper and Şengün. And I was like,
oh, wow.
If they would have hit that, oh, no.
They don't need any more. They're fine.
Like, it's actually not even far-fetched. Like, that was the pick. Like, he could have had him.
All right, here's something. You know what? I don't think anyone has said this, but we were talking about, remember like the rumor of the Giannis to the Knicks thing? It's like, well, they can't get the best package, and the only way he would end up on the Knicks is if the Bucks decide that they want to send him to his preferred destination, blah, blah, blah. I was thinking to myself, I was like, the best package you could get for Giannis is probably the Thunder. They've got all the young players and all the picks. If you're just trying to get the best package for Giannis, he's going to end up on the Thunder.
I don't want to talk about it. All right.
I'm sure you don't.
All right, let's get to our loves and lows. I'm going to start with my love and the guy that has already been mentioned on the podcast thus far. Also relevant in terms of regrettable trades, even though it's one of those regrettable trades that no one would have thought of at the time. Years ago, there was one with Chris Middleton that took place, right? Where Chris Middleton was thrown, where he went from the Pistons.
The Pistons,
and they moved on from Chris Middleton, and then obviously he had the career that he had. A year ago, I joked, and it has come to fruition. What if it becomes the Tumani Kamara trade with the Phoenix Suns as this throw-in guy, whatever? And now here we are with Ryan Rollins, Ryan Rollins was the 44th pick of the 02 draft. He has only played, last night was his
Wait, the 02 draft?
22. I'm sorry. 22.
Yeah. Like, bro, I was like,
wow, that would be really incredible.
Yeah,
He was the 44th pick of the 22 draft. And it is so crazy to go back and look. So he's had a lot of injuries and also has not played minutes throughout his NBA career. Had a career high 14 minutes a game last year. He also got in trouble, and once you become famous, everybody's going to be like, who is this guy? And a cursory level of research, when you type in his name, is going to find out that he got in trouble a year and a half ago for like a 6-month spree of just walking into Target and taking things.
Target guy, different type of Target guy.
He is like, he was Target guy before Target guy.
He's the first
Ryan
Target
Rollins.
guy.
He is Target guy. I didn't even know.
He was caught shoplifting household items from a local Target store on multiple occasions while still with the team. This is kind of wild, right?
Did you know this?
No.
It's like candles, body
Police
wash.
said in court documents that Rollins stole small household items such as groceries, body wash, and candles from a Target store on 7 different occasions.
Yeah, no, he
from
would just walk in.
September 9th to November 9th. So that's a 2-month stretch. 60 days. So once every 9 days, he's going to a Target and stealing.
What if he just, my defense would be that look, the amount of times you have to scan those stupid barcodes on the self-checkout is not something that I should have to deal with. And so, sorry if a couple things didn't get scanned. Like it's body wash and candles. I make $1.6 million. I wasn't stealing. Your stupid barcode machine sucks. That's what I would say.
I also feel like in the self-scan world, it's all on tape, and it's hard to argue with me if I tried to scan it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I gave it a shot.
Yeah, maybe he just like jumps the scanner and he just puts it in like, I want that.
It is wild 7 times in 60 days.
Yeah,
like, I think just going to Target once a week is a little weird, but stealing from Target once a week,
I mean, that's
weird.
what it has. That's what it has to be, though.
It's during the season, and he has road trips too, so he's only there half the time.
Correct. It has to be that, though, because like there's no way. It's not like you're in a ski mask with like putting a candle under your jacket and running out. You know what I mean? It's self-checkout stuff. It's got to be.
This sucked. The guy has a career high.
I know.
Casual fans are just learning his name, and here you are on the Mismatch podcast, the most popular podcast in the entire
funny,
internet.
though.
And you're saying he used to steal shit from Target. It is funny.
It's what happens when you freaking Google it. It pops up.
The details are crazy to me.
Of course, it's crazy.
Candles.
All right. So, anyways. He's done with the Wizards. They're done with him.
Groceries? How do you steal groceries?
It's got to be self-checkout. That's my theory.
It has to be, right?
It's just going to be self-checkout stuff, right? So anyways, it was 18 months ago that this happened, okay? And he ends up signing this low deal, 3 years, $12 million. What a bargain for the Milwaukee Bucks. Then he has given his opportunity. And I think people are watching him thus far. And it was 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Then it was 14 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Then, since we last spoke, Jacoby, he's had 25, 4 and 2. And then last night, 32, 8 and 3 against the team that originally traded him, which leads us to the trade. Chris Paul for Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, a first-round pick in 2030, which what are the Warriors going to look like in 2030?
In 2030, yeah.
And a first-round pick in 2027.
2027.
2027, 2030, Ryan Rollins and Jordan Poole. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, this is a terrible, terrible trade. And what if Ryan Rollins turns out awesome? He is 6'3", with a 6'10" wingspan.
The wingspan is crazy. When you see him, it just doesn't look natural.
And the wildest thing is, when you're watching him, it is, you know who he reminds you of with that size and that wingspan? Is Rondo, who's working with him.
Yeah, who's like some sort of consultant coach thing. Yeah.
And Rondo has turned him into this defensive menace. So he's like point of attack, defensive menace. Giannis loves him. And it's like, holy crap, what a story this is. What a story. Ryan Rollins turns out to be like absolutely awesome. And at least in these last two games, he has been absolutely awesome with a 32. He is tied for first in the league in steals a game and is third in deflections. He's averaging almost 6 deflections a game.
Jesus.
Unbelievable. It's like Dyson Daniels level.
Well, this was supposed, like, when you look at the Bucks, and I was higher on the Bucks than others. I'm not trying to take a victory lap. It's been 4 games or whatever, 5 games. Is one of the problems was the Kevin Porter Jr. spot. You know what I mean? Right. You're looking at it, you're like, we got shooters, we got Kuzma, whatever, second unit, we got Giannis,
right,
and we got Turner, and then you're like, wow, there's one more spot. And the starting, it's like, I guess Kevin Porter Jr., if he's behaving, but now it's just Ryan Rollins. It's perfect. It's a perfect fit. Perfect fit. Last night the announcers were like, well, you put Kyle Kuzma in the Giannis spot. I'm not saying that Kyle Kuzma is Giannis, but he can do a lot of the same things. And I'm like, you don't even believe that. It's like no one does the same things as Giannis. Like wear the uniform? Like, I think that's about it.
He can do the 6-step trap.
Yeah.
Against the Knicks.
I've got something for that later too.
Okay, good. All right. Anyway, Ryan Rollins. Look, we're sorry for mentioning your past, but that's what pops up on Google. And people
I'm not over this Target thing. I just want to say this. Have you ever bought a candle for yourself? Have you ever bought a candle that was not a gift for someone else?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever bought a candle in my life.
I always do. I do the thing where I like walk by and then I smell them, and I always end up buying the vanilla one. I like vanilla candles. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get that.
I'm lucky enough to be in a relationship where I don't have to purchase candles. Yeah, I've got a candle purchaser in my family, so it's off my jurisdiction.
So you asked me, have I bought a candle? I mean, I'm not proud
But Ryan
of
Rollins stealing candles from Target is just wild. I mean, candles is a very strange thing to steal.
I'm not proud of my candle buying, but you asked me.
No, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Yeah, candles are great. I love candles. I just don't buy them. I've got my wife is a candle person, so I don't have to be a candle person.
Actually, Jacoby, I just steal them. They're super easy they're super easy not right to scan because they're like nobody's stealing a candle.
Yeah. My first love, and we've kind of touched on it, and I'll make it brief, is the Heat went on that 17-1 run, and the Spurs are going for this franchise record 5-0 start, which to me is sort of like a. It's not that big a deal. It's kind of like, sure, you won 5-0. I think a lot of, it's just more, I'm more surprised the Spurs haven't done it previously than I am celebrating the accomplishment of this San Antonio Spurs team.
The Bulls are undefeated too. So what?
Yeah. I mean, didn't the Cavs start 16-0 last year? Like, it's not that big a deal. But one of the things that I loved was Wemby's emotional response to the end of this game. Like he had a sort of like a daggery and one, and he's on the floor and he's screaming at his defender and he's screaming at his teammates and he's pumping up the crowd like he's Hulk Hogan in the middle of the ring. And even after the final buzzer, he's celebrating this thing like it's the championship. Like honestly, like he was screaming at the crowd. He couldn't even handle himself in the post-game interview. And my first love, and there's gonna be a lot of celebration of like Wemby, the basketball player, the stats, the blocks, the size, we've never seen this before, but there's something about his body language and the emotional outburst at the end of this game that really gave me the feeling that something was stolen from him last year. Like, this blood clot thing was not a freak injury, a turn of an ankle. It's just sort of something that manifested inside of his body that wasn't his fault. And I feel like he's just like, he's just got like this vengeance, this like Denzel Washington man on fire thing about him this season that it feels emotional and personal, which is one of the reasons I just love watching it so much. Because you always say, I care if they care, right? You always say that. I'm gonna use it back on you now. Wemby fucking cares, man.
Oh, does he ever?
They beat the Heat in the 5th game of the season, and he lost his mind in the end of the game, and I loved it. Well, I care that he cares.
The announcers were saying something to the effect of, like, 2 of the last 3 NBA champions started off 5-0 or something. I was like,
oh yeah, I heard that. He's like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
But I vividly remember in the Olympics where he's crying afterwards. And he makes this statement, and we were all in unison like, oh, God, this is the origin story.
Well, it's also like, did you really think you were going to beat that team? Like, did you really think you were? Are you that disappointed you didn't beat them? And it feels like he was.
Oh, no. And he's like, they won in my country. Wait till I do it in their country kind of thing, right? Like, almost like, you beat me, but you're going to regret this. Because now it's on, and it's like, oh no!
It feels like it's like
John Wick or something.
It's like John Wick when they killed his dog.
Yes,
it's like Kaiser Sose when they killed his family. It's like it's Denzel Washington, man on fire. There's this whole like vengeance. Like it's like it's almost like he's such like a nice, measured, mature person,
right?
But he is fueled by the dark side a little bit. You know what I mean? He is fueled, like he is practicing in the dark arts, and he's pulling some of his motivation from the negative parts of his soul, which I fucking love. I love it so much.
Maybe we went and worked with Pai Mei, the guy from Kill Bill. Maybe he went to work with him. You know what I mean? When he was doing all that monk stuff, maybe couldn't you see him like hitting that board from 1 inch away, hitting the board?
Wait a second.
Oh no.
We heard so much about his trip to China, right? Yeah. He also went to Japan. Have you heard any details about his trip to Japan?
So he's the new Beatrix Kiddo? Wasn't that her name? Uma Thurman?
Oh, she was just the bride. That's all I know.
No, Beatrix Kiddo
went to my high school. But yeah, she's got a Hatani. Yeah, went to my high school. Uma Thurman. Yeah.
Did you know her?
No, I did. First of all, I'm not that old. I think she's way older than me. yeah.
I don't think she's that old.
Oh, I'm gonna put her in her 50s. Let's look it up right now.
I'm going to say Uma Thurman is 52.
Oh, no. 55. Oh. Yeah, so I did not go to high school with Uma Thurman.
Okay.
But, yeah, I love this Wemby. And I think that he's got the Hatari Hanzo sword, and he's the actual Black Mamba, and he's the bride, and he's going to kill everybody. He's killing everybody. I love it. I love it. What's your next love?
I agree with that. And it's now, but we literally said in the first segment that we were done with Wemby, and now we're loving him again. So
I just love the emotion.
I got it. All right, next one. I'll keep it quick. LaMelo flipping off a ref. I'm sorry, it's funny. Like
it's funny.
He got $35,000 fine. I know it's immature. I got it, right? But one of my edicts is, and I said, my origin story was once upon a time when I was a little kid. Me and my friend Andy got in trouble in class, and we had this it was like something out of like a movie or something, right? With the vice principal and this lady who was like super mean. And I remember her standing over us, and she was like pointing her finger, and she's like, you boys are silly, just silly. And she was furious at us, right? And of course, we just got to sit there like we're we're upset about this. And then we walk out and laugh hysterically, right? And from that moment on, I was like, I really believe, I was like, you know what, man? It's fun to be silly. And it's fun to laugh at things that are ridiculous. And when LaMelo Ball drives and Davion Mitchell gets a foul, and his immediate reaction is to turn and flip off the referee, I'm sorry. I will never not find that funny. That is hilarious. To give the ref the finger is absolutely hilarious.
Here's the thing that it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's something I always say.
Right.
He didn't get in his face and put his middle finger aggressively in his face like he wanted to fight. It was just like some sort of like casual, like, whatever, dude. Sure, call that an offensive foul. I don't care.
So
it was more flippant. It was more just like dismissive. It was just like, F you, Rev. I'm not gonna look at you while I throw this middle finger in your direction. Like it was sort of like casual, dismissive middle finger instead of aggressive, like I want to fight you middle finger, which made it that much better.
Also, the middle finger is objectively funny. It just is. Somebody giving you the finger, like if you like accidentally like, cut somebody off in traffic or something, like it's fun. I'm sorry.
It's funny.
Because when you boil it down, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like it is the way to show your discontent without doing it verbally, but it's just a ridiculous. It looks funny.
It looks funny. Shout out to middle fingers. My next love. Yeah. I tried to do a real deep dive on this, but I just couldn't get the stats together in time. But I'm keeping an eye on that Celtics Cavs game, right? I expected the Cavs to win, like most.
Yeah. And
the Celtics outscored the Cavs by 21 points in the third quarter, right? And the third quarter, the importance of the third quarter started really entering my psyche and something I really paid attention to during that 73-win Warriors run. Do you remember the third quarter Warriors during that run, like the death lineup Warriors, where it would just be like they'd be down 12 in Utah, and then they'd win the third quarter by 25 points, usually like the first 7 minutes of the third quarter. It just felt like if you win the third quarter, you win the game no matter what happened before that. And Harvard did a study in 2021. The NBA team that wins the third quarter and is leading after that quarter wins the game approximately 81.7% of the time. And I've been looking.
I'm going to look at third quarter points per game.
Well, I've got third quarter I've margin. So how much you win the third quarter by?
Oh, number one is in points per game?
Denver.
Chicago now.
It does. Let me just read the 10 in margin.
Yeah.
Denver, Golden State, Houston, Charlotte, Memphis, Chicago, Cleveland, Thunder, Milwaukee. Like
all winning teams. So far.
All winning teams. Is Memphis a winning team? We're counting them as a winning team? Oh, okay, good. Just want to make sure.
What are you talking about? They're 3-2, bro.
Okay. And then we have the Spurs at number 10.
How dare you?
So this is something I'm tracking, and I'm going to get the data when I have more time.
So to your point, the leading third quarter team is Chicago, and in the last 3 games, and they started 4-0, they have averaged 37 points a game in the third quarter. Yeah. Okay.
I've just got my eye on this.
Okay.
Because it started during that Warriors run. You remember that Warriors run, the third quarter Warriors, where they would just be down, they would mail in the first quarter, and then just be absolutely lights out in the third quarter, and then they wouldn't play in the fourth. And I think that the third quarter is something I've got my eye on moving forward, and I absolutely love.
All right, next thing I love, I told you I was watching that dismal Orlando Magic performance against the Pistons the other night. And so, anyways, I've got 2 TVs. One of them has one game on it. One of them has the other. And so on my side TV, the Pistons and the Magic were on that, okay? And like one of them, I turned the volume up a little higher than the other so I could kind of monitor both. And so, anyways, I'm just sitting there after the game ends. And typically, I just turn the game off as soon as like the game's over, right? But for whatever reason, I didn't turn the channel on that. And so, like, they take their break after, the Pistons win, right? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They come back, and next thing I know, I'm like, what is going on? There's like a music video going on the screen with Pistons highlights. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And they're playing highlights from the game, like Cade Cunningham hitting a 3 from the corner, whatever. And there's a song in the background. I don't know how I have not become aware of this before. Maybe it's just because I always turn games off after they're over.
After it's over, yeah.
So this is like, I just happened to leave the channel on, and there's a song, and it's like, and the Pistons win again. Yeah, the Pistons won again. It's like a rap song, and it plays in the back.
Oh, yeah, Pistons won again. I know that song.
Jesse, play the song.
Pistons won again.
All we do is effing win, and that's the radio edit.
And the thing is, this guy has a very like Detroit sound, sort of like T Grizzly or like Big Sean. He's kind of got that like Detroit drawl. Yeah. I mean, obviously working with Jalen as long as I have, there's a lot of Pistons in my life, and that song is part of the thing.
It was playing on the screen, and I was like, "What is this?"
It's no Orlando Magic though.
It's not, but it's pretty awesome. And
it is awesome.
You know what? It's a perfect song for highlights.
It's really the Pistons one again is a great song for that usage.
Yes.
And Knicks fans will hate me for this. I'm not a real Knicks fan. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. I hate Go New York, Go New York, Go. I hate Go New York, Go New York, Go. It's so corny to me. Go New York, Go New York, Go. It's not it. It's not it.
Wow. What a
It's not it.
What
It's not a good song. It's not a good song. Go New York, Go New York, Go. I've seen the documentary about the guy that wrote the song, and he's a big Knicks fan, and it's a great story.
And he invented the big ass calendar.
It's
on my Instagram feed all the time. That guy Jessie, whatever his name is. Yeah. He invented the big ass calendar, and it's just a huge calendar. I'm like, I'm the most unplanned person on earth. Why are you telling me? Like, are they trying to get me to buy this? I don't want a calendar. I can't even keep up with my notes app.
Pistons won again. Where are we at? We're on Love still. Here's what I love. I love that Nikola Jokic is going for the record of straight triple doubles to start a season. He's now tied with Westbrook and the Big O.
And no one cares.
And he's off to a slow start, apparently. Last is something like, oh yeah, Nikola Jokic off to a slow start. I'm like, he's got triple doubles in every time he's taken the floor. Like he hasn't hit 30 yet in points, but like they're winning games. He's got triple doubles every time he takes the floor. He's got new teammates around him. He's getting involved. And they asked him, this is my favorite part.
By the way, Aaron Gordon's averaging like 45 points.
Yeah. It's a slow start for Jokic. He's breaking records left and right casually. And this is my favorite quote. They asked him about it. He goes, quote, "I'm trying to win games. I'm not focused on anything."
I believe it.
Not being focused on anything is the most Nikola Jokic thing I've ever heard. I'm the best player on the planet. I can do whatever I want. You want me to score 50, I'll do it. You want me to score 0 and have 30 assists, I'll do that too. I don't even have to focus. I'm not focused on anything but my stupid horses.
My last love, and I have to mention this, I have to do, as the kids would say, I got to do some glazing here because,
glaze it.
Because there was an expectation that while my kids are going to be going trick-or-treating and everyone is enjoying Halloween parties and festivities,
Friday night,
I was going to be at an 8:30 Central start because it's a cup game, an Amazon game no less.
Oh, national game. Who are they playing?
Between Memphis and Los Angeles. But Lakers, at the beginning of the week, you got this whole Luka injury, and it's like, oh, man, they're not going to have Luka. They're not going to have LeBron. Little did I know I was going to need to go watch the best player in the NBA, Austin Reeves. Who knew I was going to get to watch the – imagine me sitting there going, you know what? No Luka, no LeBron. Man, that ain't going to be what I bargained for. And then finding out that actually there's somebody better than both of them that plays for the Lakers. He just doesn't get the opportunity to be better than both of them. And that's Austin. So here's the full glazing. I am going to go see the most unbelievable performer in the NBA. And it looks like Luka might come back. I do wonder if that is a function of the NBA Cup. Like that if it were just a regular Friday night non-NBA Cup game, if there's zero chance Luka would play. But the fact that it is a NBA Cup game, it was because all the headlines yesterday was shocking report about Luka with the late, because everybody had this notion that he was going to be out for an amount of time. And then yesterday they list him as he very well may play. And I do wonder if that is a function of it being an Amazon Prime Cup game. And so it does matter a little bit more to them if you're trying to get the money. And look, the Lakers did play out the cup. They won the cup, right? And so we have seen that 2 years ago.
2 years ago they won the cup. Last year was the Bucks.
You're right. 2 years ago they won it where they destroyed the Pelicans and then beat the Pacers. But who knows? Maybe so. But anyways, Austin Reeves, like we talked about his 51. Then he backed it up with 30-something. Then he backed it up with another huge performance and a game winner. And it's like, this is we joked on Tuesday that the price of the brick's gone up. My God, the guy's going to end up with a friggin' max contract on his own team before this is all said and done. He's unbelievable.
It's undeniable at this point. Like, it's not fluky at all. But Austin Reeves has been good. Like, this isn't like he came out of nowhere and
not
did this.
This
like,
good,
he's
though.
been good. He's had
good.
Playoff games with 30.
But this is very Harden-esque. It really is. It's like, oh, hold on now. Like, is this guy, if you put the ball in his hands, is this what you get? Like, if he's not just playing off of people, is this a thing?
I don't think anyone cares about the NBA Cup game. I think they care about Luka's health more than anything. So I think that they prioritize that over everything. I don't think they're like, oh, this is a Cup game, Luka. You got to get out there. You know, but I think that what you're really looking forward to is the Jake LaRavia revenge game.
The Jake LaRavia revenge game, especially after his origin story might have been him dropping 27 and a person in the crowd yelling, "Who is number 12?" And Anthony Edwards standing up off the bench saying, "That's what I'm saying." I mean, the fact that Jake LaRavia had to endure, and then if you saw it, of course, look, I follow him on Instagram still.
Good for you. You gotta keep up with your exes. You know, everybody does it.
He posted who is number 12 with a photo gallery.
God bless him. God bless him.
Who is number 12? And so, yeah, now you have that took place in Minnesota, and now you have him coming back to Memphis with his opportunity and revenge game. Oh, buddy. This is look, I was kind of down about this. I was like, oh, man, you know, Friday night, late, no Luka, no LeBron. This is kind of a
Halloween
damper. They put a damper on things. And now I'm excited.
I'll finish my loves with a simple thing by saying I love the NBA Cup. Like, is it perfect? No. Does it mean anything? No. But like, it is additive. At its very core, it's additive. It makes these games a little more interesting and with a little bit more juice and effort from the players than other games. So like, it's not perfect. It is meaningless. It's not that significant, but it's better than just playing regular season games. So thank you very much. I love the NBA Cup. Let's go to our list.
And to go back to what you said earlier about a phrase that I use a lot. They care, I care. They do care. They do. They do care. They put more
they seem to care about the money. It's like they care about the money.
Right.
It's like, you know, it's Ryan Rollins. You don't have to steal candles from Target anymore. We got you $150,000. We won the cup.
Let's get to the loads. I'm just going to touch on the historic free throw rate thus far. And they even mentioned this during that Spurs broadcast, and I was like, really? They mentioned during the broadcast how many guys, and I believe it's now at 7. It might be it's if you round up, it's 7. 7 guys in the NBA averaging over 10 free throws a game. Number 1 is Reeves. Number 2 is Maxey. Then Zion, Giannis, Paolo, Booker, and then Durant is 9.8, and Wemby is 9.6. All right, let's just hope. Again, it's only 5 games. Sample size is small. Let's hope this starts to dwindle because part of what we are seeing thus far is that, do you know how many guys went to the line 10 times a game last year?
2. 1?
Giannis. That's it. I thought Alexander was a for sure.
Yeah. Or Brunson.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe we gave him too much grief. 8.8. 8.8. You think about how much you think Gilgeous-Alexander goes to the line. 8.8. Yeah. And then Trae Young was 3rd with 7. You got 7 guys already averaging over 10 free throws a game.
Jesus.
Last year, there was 1 player averaging 10 free throws a game. So this got to even, this got to start going down.
It's not the way the game is refereed that bothers me about it, or the fact that they're going to the line, or even like the quote unquote grifting. It's just what it does to the flow of the experience of watching the game.
Well, and also in the case of these guys, you got 3 of those guys, I think, that have been to the line like 20 times in a game. Between Maxey, Reeves went to the line 22 times against the Kings.
It kills the experience for me watching it.
I agree.
It kills the flow. There's no up and down. It stops everything. And then and they were watching someone dribble and they take so long to shoot every free throw. It sucks. And the thing that I loathe, and this might be on every single Friday, I was right about insights to excellence. It's awful. It is god awful.
Michael Jordan doesn't like load management.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And then Mike Tirico's like, oh, let's talk about load management. And Michael Jordan's like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, I knew you were going to bring up this one. I knew you were going to bring up this one, old Mikey. I knew this was going to come up, this hot topic. And he answers it like someone put in ChatGPT, like, what would a 90s superstar say about load management in today's NBA? And that's how he answers it. I felt there was a guy who bought a ticket that worked really hard in the top deck and the upper bowl. And I always think about that guy and how hard he worked. And as an entertainer, I had to put on a show. It's the same outfit. It's the same interview. Are we going to be watching the same interview in December, in January? How many times are they going to cut the same interview up? None of this is topical. None of this is about players that are playing. None of this is about games that happened recently. None of this is news. This is an old interview about boring topics, cliched answer, and the only thing that's come of these interviews is what the fuck is wrong with Michael Jordan's eyes, and is he okay? That's the only thing that's come out of this interview.
All right. So as you're doing this, you can see me typing as you're doing your rant. I'm doing this.
I hate this.
Look, this is what I just typed. Act like a 90s NBA player. What would you say about load management?
What's the answer?
All right. Let me tell you something, young fella. Back in my day, we didn't even know what load management was. You played because that's what you were paid to do. Ankle sore, tape it up. Knee barking, ice it after the game. Coach calls your number, you say, let's go. We're talking commercial flights, eating hotel food, playing back-to-backs in Denver and Utah, and still dropping 25 the next night. Nobody talking about rest days. You got fans who saved up their money all year just to see you hoop. You owe them that. You think MJ, Malone, and Ewing was asking for load management? Man, Mike was managing loads of defenders every night.
This the only good part. He goes on to be.
Why is AI so good?
And at one point, he's like, oh well, all the conditioning and preparation that we do for the games and all the stuff we do off the court that you don't even see. He's like, well, maybe not me. It's like we know what you were doing off the court, Michael Jordan.
We know.
I hate insight to excellence. I hate what NBC has made this release being like Michael Jordan's gonna be a special analyst. Means he's gonna let you do a 1-hour interview once and you're gonna cut it up and play it for us for the rest of the year. I hate insights to excellence so much. God damn it.
All right, but next one is Draymond and Santi Aldama. So Draymond does the typical I lose my temper and because I turned it over at midcourt, chases down Santi Aldama, grabs him by the neck and fouls him, and then can't believe that this hard foul is being called a possible flagrant one. Then when Aldama misses the free throws, he skips around like he's frolicking throughout the lane, and then fine, it's over. It's annoying, whatever, right? Of course, all you pick on is European guys. All you pick on is European guys. You choke Gobert, you stomp Sabonis, you get into it with Nurkic. Now it's Santi Aldama, and then he goes on his thing on his podcast and calls Santi Aldama a clown and all of these other things. Like, what is going on? Like, what is happening here? Not only does he do this stuff, like the full-on bully, right? Then he says, and you're soft, and your soft coach, wants this to happen. It's like, okay. There are clips of last year, Tari Eason and Draymond just flopping like crazy because he don't want it with Tari Eason, right? And it's like, you do all of these things that you complain about other guys doing, and then you call them soft and you call them, and I'm not defending Santi Aldama here, right? Like, I mean, the foul is the foul. It wasn't that bad.
Whatever, yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. But look, you are that guy. If you constantly are only doing this to a certain type of guy, meaning most of the time, 90% of these guys are always the overseas guys. Come on, bro.
Interesting.
Foul somebody else. Bro, if you're so hard and you're so tough, do it to somebody that might scrap with you. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just a bully. You're a schoolyard bully, and that's fine. But don't be the bully and then come on a pod trashing the guy that you bullied. Come on. We know, right?
You can't say overseas. You have to say international because he also went after Zach Edey because Zach Edey's Canadian.
And Zach Edey actually stood up to him.
Well, listen, I'll just say this. I found his comments about the Knicks' potential championship contention to be absolutely absurd.
Oh, wow.
Absurd.
And that's that's the kind he would do it to, too. He would try to hard foul Cat because he knows Cat's not going to foul.
Yeah,
like you ain't ever foul. Bro, do all that tough guy stuff against
to a
somebody.
Tough guy.
Yeah. One time. Because you know what he reminds me of?
Wait. Are you calling him soft and a clown?
You know what he reminds me of?
Are you calling him a clown and soft? Sounds like what you're doing.
You remember when Tyler Hansborough would act like Psycho T? You could find this clip on YouTube. Tyler Hansborough goes up and he gets waylaid from behind. And he gets the bug eyes like he always had. And he turns around like he's ready to go. And it's Ron Artest. And he just okay, forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it to one of those guys. Like, take your frustration out on because I promise you, if it's one of those guys that's going to the basket after you turned it over at midcourt and you run back and hard foul them, you're not barking at everybody. You're not jumping up in everybody's face. Look, you can say whatever you want to say. Do it to somebody tough. Do it to somebody that might lose. Do it to Isaiah Stewart.
Can I say this, please? Do you think that your opinions about Draymond Green are colored by the history between Draymond Green and the Memphis Grizzlies?
This happens to every team.
No. I'm asking you a question that you're not answering. Don't you think that the history between Draymond Green and the Memphis Grizzlies has changed your opinion about Draymond Green?
No question. There's no question.
I don't mind. I'm fully embracing the players doing something on the court and then going and talking about it on a podcast later that night. I'm totally on board with it.
You know who he did it? You know who he did it to, though? Against the Grizzlies during all of those hard-fought series? The two guys that were the recipients of his horribleness? Mike Conley and Brandon Clark. Okay, bro. Okay. We know who you are. Yeah, hey. Go find the hard foul he laid on Zebo.
I can't.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Just everybody, please. I love that the NBA is back. We're 2 weeks into this thing, but enough with the he could be rookie of the year. This guy's MVP. Is Wemby now the front runner for MVP? Can we just not do year-long awards talk?
It's award season.
Until later in the year. It's the rookie of the year rankings or whatever. I'm just what do you mean of the year? No, we're 2 weeks into this thing.
That article that I cited earlier. Ryan Rollins currently leading the way in most improved.
Yeah, it's just it's game 6.
I mean,
it's game 6. It's game 6. All right, can we just talk about the MVP later?
My next loathe, the Rozier updates. Oh no, the $8 million tax lien, and it just it's golly, this guy signed a big contract, bro. It just sounds like he was. And he had to put his house up as collateral. It reminds you of that old. You were at ESPN at the time. You remember that 30 for 30 about all those players?
Yeah, broke. Yeah,
and there were a lot. Some of them were trusting bad people or bad investments.
Of course,
there was a lot of
financial managers that screw you over and things like that.
But there was a lot of gambling. A lot of gambling losses. right? And a lot of guys that lost not small fortunes gambling.
Absolutely.
And it's like, and do you know what dawned on me yesterday? I was like, dude, no way. Do you remember when I told you I went to the National Sports Collectors Convention? This came
of
up.
course. Yeah.
And I told you everywhere I went doing appearances was Chauncey Billups, and I thought that was so weird.
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell? He's a current NBA coach, like nobody
Head
else.
coach.
It was just bizarre. But everybody that came in contact with him loved him, and he was like mega charming, and he was like opening packs, and like he was doing all these appearances, like paid appearances. He even did he showed up to a trade night, just a bunch of card dealers trading cards, and Chauncey Billups was there.
He's the best. I still am in disbelief that Chauncey Billups is like this deep into the illegal stuff. Just from being around him a little bit, I'm like, him of all people?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this is illegal. I'm saying he might have, is he doing it for the money?
I don't know. I don't know what Chauncey Billups is up to. He's got to be making money. It's your head coach in the NBA. You make like $8 million.
And all I'm saying is, and now Pablo Torre's got the Ty Lue was at all of these poker games.
If I'm Ty Lue, I might punch Pablo Torre in the face. Well, I'd be like, yeah, I played poker. What, am I guilty of playing poker?
Hey, what he said, Pablo, that if you ask who their best friends are, Ty Lue will say Damon Jones and Chauncey Billups will say Ty Lue, and
that's fine.
Like, he's connecting all these guys. I'm like, oh God. Anyway, here's the deal. I don't know about the other two. Terry Rozier, and it sounded like this with Malik Beasley. It's like, bro, these guys blew fortunes getting involved in whatever they.
I can't speak on their financial situations, but it does seem pretty dire.
Bro, if you got an $8 million tax lien and
that's a big lien.
Also, he didn't put up the money; he put up his house as collateral.
I was irresponsible with my tax paying when I was in my early 20s. And I'll just say this to anyone who owes back taxes or is struggling or whatever. If you call the IRS, they are very, very friendly. And they'll set you up on a payment plan. They're like, how much do you want to pay a month?
Well,
and I was like, $50 a month. They're like, okay, here you go.
I'm not sure they're there now.
You can't talk to them?
I don't. They're probably the only ones working.
No, I've talked to them. Oh, the government shut down.
They might be the only.
The bean collectors are still there. The money's still coming in. Yeah.
I said this. I swear to God, I went to my accountant a week and a half ago, and I've got a 1099 that I have to pay quarterlies on, and so I said, if I send this in, is it
someone going to get it?
And he goes, I promise you they'll cash it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
the accounts receivable is still open.
It was open, brother. That thing was out of my account within a day.
Oh, it's Amir for loathes.
I just did Terry Rozier, the sadness of that. So that was my third one.
Oh, this is one that really, I got irresponsibly perturbed about this.
Okay.
We all saw the Giannis travel against the Knicks, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then I think Teague might have started it, but then there's this backlash. There's this zag of he didn't travel. Have you seen this?
No.
This makes me absolutely crazy. Crazy. They're like, he's still dribbling until he touches the ball with two hands. That is when he stops dribbling, and then he takes two steps. So therefore, this is a legal move. You need to know the rules. And I swear to God, I'm like, I do not need to know the rules to know that that's a travel. Because if by your logic, if he stops dribbling when he gathers it with two hands, then why can't you just cuff the ball like a running back and run through the lane and then score?
It was an egregious travel.
It was a travel, but Teague started it, and then other people started to jump on. I've seen in my comments well, if you know the rules, he's actually technically still dribbling until he gathers. And then I'm just like, guys, he took 6 steps, 5 if you want to be conservative, but he went from the 3-point line to the rim without dribbling. I know he takes long strides, but enough with this zag. He traveled. That is a travel.
Do you feel a little bit hypocritical, given that in our last episode, you went to House of Highlights and commented, that's not a 360 with Wemby?
I don't feel hypocritical at all. If you watch his feet, have you seen the clip since I said that?
Yeah.
Look at his feet. Look at his feet. And shout out to everybody that listens to the Mismatch that commented on my comment. That made me feel loved. It made me feel loved. It made me feel loved. I love all of you very much. We're all friends.
My last loathe is getting duped by the Hanson Young Hanson tweet. Okay. So did you see this?
No.
All right. So there were even stories written about it. It was like Blazers rookie with a heartwarming response to haters or whatever. And somebody posted like his box scores. And it was like, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1.
Binary code. Yeah.
And he responded, quote tweeted, and said, I do the best with the minutes I'm given. Something like that.
Was that real?
And it's like a verified one. It's a fake Hanson Young
account.
And I was like,
the internet.
No. I wanted it to be real so bad. I was heartwarmed.
He's just doing his best.
He was crying in the preseason. This guy wants to be good so bad. And I was like, this checks out. It was so realistic. And I think it's got like 2 ends that I didn't catch on the end. And I'm glad I didn't like retweet it or anything. But I saw it, and then it gets community noted. And it says, this is not the official count.
Hanson Young.
And I'm like, who is out there imitating Hanson Young? Get a life. Seriously. Get a life, man. I should be able to think that's authentic.
Is it more likely that we're like, do you remember Hanson Young from Summer League 2025? Or is it more likely 10-year veteran, stalwart center Hanson Young in the NBA 2035? Yeah, I think so too.
But also, that guy, whoever you are out there that is impersonating Young Hanson, this is terrible. Yeah,
well, also be funnier. If you're going to impersonate Hanson Young, don't make it so believable.
Also, you paid for the check mark.
Oh, I paid for a check mark too. One of the most regrettable things I've ever done.
No, I'm saying whoever.
Yeah, he did. It's $100.
This Hanson Young thing, unbelievable.
All right. But also be funny. If you're gonna, like NBA Centel is funny. You know what I mean? But impersonating Hanson Young and being believable, like what does that accomplish? You tricked Chris Vernon?
You did. And I was duped. And I and then when it got community noted, this is not the NBA, I was like, oh man, that would have been cool if he was like, I just do the
best with the minutes I'm given. I'm doing my best.
I think I screenshotted it. It was like,
who was it? Was it Dame or was it CJ that was like, I'm trying Sarah? Remember that one?
It was I try my best with the minutes I have, and then it was like the sad like sweating emoji.
Oh yeah, he's doing his best.
I try my best with the minutes I have, and then underneath there it says readers added context. The account is not the NBA player Young Hanson, and since there aren't clear signs to indicate that it's an impersonation, it can mislead users into thinking otherwise. It does have 2 ends at the end. That's how he got away with it.
I would never notice that. Yeah.
All right. Last one.
My final one is easy. If you have a pimple on your face, if you've ever pushed a gas pedal on a car, if you've ever babysat, if you've ever kissed a girl or a guy, don't come to my house asking for candy. You can't candy. Going to trick-or-treating is for children. This is a cliched thing, but it happens all the time. If you've got a deep voice, don't ask me for candy. If you're over 6 feet, don't ask me for candy. Just don't. This is not a night. This isn't a free candy night. This is a fun night for children, not for teens.
This is crazy. I cannot tell you the flashbacks you are giving me. My father hates Halloween. Hates it. We grew up in this neighborhood where the teenagers would vandalize on Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I used to do that too.
Right, like the Hell's Night thing.
Yeah.
And so I always thought, hey, this is when me and my sister were younger. And I was like, this is not a big deal. We had a bay window, like at our living room.
Yeah.
And one year at Halloween, a soccer ball came straight through it.
Nice.
And from that point on, every year at Halloween, my dad would go, I swear to you, would go hide in the bushes in our front yard on Halloween night trying to catch teenagers vandalizing our house, okay, or something, right? It wasn't like we were targeted our house. Like, it was just, that's what they were doing. They were doing this stuff. And so I have this vivid memory of my dad doing it and hating it. And then, listen, this is why I'm going to resent you a little bit. As I got older, I was like, hey, I'm going out trick-or-treating with my friends. And my dad would be like, you're too old to trick-or-treat.
Yeah.
I was like 10, okay? And all of my friends are out trick-or-treat, and my dad would not let me go, which is fine, except he made me man the door. So now I'm giving candy out to all of my friends
that are older.
Yeah. My friends are coming over. They're like, hey, come out. Why aren't you trick-or-treating with us? And I'd be like, I can't. And they'd be like, what? Why? And my dad would be like, why don't we watch the original,
Michael Myers or whatever.
Yeah, Halloween. You've never seen that. And I'd be like, I want to be out with my friends.
With my friends, No.
By the time I was 10, my dad thought I was too old. So that's why I'm saying, when you brought that up, it brings back this memory of my dad going, you're too old to trick-or-treat. But I was still a kid. It wasn't fair. And so I
have so many follow-up questions.
The limit is.
What? Okay, let's imagine a scenario in which your dad sees a teenager walk up to your front yard with a soccer ball.
Yeah.
He's about to kick it. What does your dad do then?
I don't know.
Like, what's the plan? Yeah,
I don't know.
What's the plan? What are you gonna do? Beat the shit out of him?
No,
like,
I think he was
arrest him? Like citizens arrest? Like,
no,
we yell at him?
I think it would be to. I think it was
scare
more,
the snot out of him.
I think it was more prevent the crime than punish
the crime. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Just scare the snot out of them. Or whatever.
Know who they are, so that way I can A, scare you, and B, call your parents.
When I was growing up, it was you trick or treat until you were about 13, and then 14 through 17 was you bullied the kids that were trick or treating and you stole their bags of candy. That's how the hierarchy worked in the town I grew up in. So I'd be trick or treating down the street, and there'd be like a bunch of older kids walking towards us, and we would just run because they're coming for the candy.
Oh, I'm getting into it. Look, my son's a teenager, and I mean he went out last year, and a mom called us and was like, "Hey, was William dressed up as Waldo?"
Because he just pooped on my doorstep.
No. We were like, in fact, he was.
Yes, he was.
That's Waldo. And they were like, okay, I knew it wasn't him, but they said that some Halloween decoration got knocked over at the house that was hosting the Halloween party, and they didn't know who did it, but the kid was with Waldo.
So where's Waldo is the question.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew you shouldn't have worn that. And I was like, who knocked over the Halloween decoration? Like,
also, just put the Halloween direction back up. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't broken.
I know. It wasn't even a big deal.
Yeah,
but I was
like, big deal.
But I did think it was funny. They asked me if I was like, you literally got found out because you were Waldo.
We'll wrap with this, but I was walking down the street in the Lower East Side a few years ago, and I just got hit in the leg with an egg, cracked all over my pants. And there's this yolk and egg all over me. And I said to myself, I deserve that. I've been throwing eggs at people, at undeserving people in Halloween since I was like 14 years old.
You don't know where it came from?
I deserve that. No, it's just a bunch of kids ran away laughing. What am I going to chase after a bunch of teenagers and, chase them through alleyways? And then what? I'm like your dad. Like, then what am I going to do if I catch them? Beat them up? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But call the cops. But I just deserved it. It was like, I've hit so many random adults with eggs before that this is just, I deserve this. I probably deserve this 7 times over. But everybody be safe tonight.
Everybody be safe. Have a great weekend. Thanks to our executive producer, Jessie Lopez, as always. Jacoby, I'll talk to you next week.